Well, howdy. Dan here, Diddy Speed Shop. Today, working on this old Chevy truck. Now, in case you're new here, I'm into old hot rods, and old hot rods need to be dragged around. Now, what I've always wanted was a tow truck, a service truck, and all sorts of stuff. I prefer to work outside, and going to work on old junk and everything. It's fun. I like being in the driveway, and instead of running around, I thought, I'll just have a vehicle that can do it all. And that's what this is. So I actually spent a bunch of time looking for this exact truck. So maybe we'll do a quick little tour of it, and then I'll show you what my plans are to make it into a bit of a service truck, tow truck. It's actually a plow truck. I got a plow for the front. This thing does it all. Now, what I wanted was this exact truck. This is a 1-ton, single rear wheel, 4x4 gas job. And I wanted all those things for all sorts of different reasons. Now, diesels are all fine and good. They're a pain to start in the cold. It gets cold here. I park this thing on the street, whatever. It just, 6-liter LS, boom, it just works. I want to put dual batteries in it. I haven't done that yet, but that's on the list. There's a few rules here around where I am. This doesn't affect a lot of people, but we have to follow the rules here, or you know, whatever, as much as we can. Dualies are not allowed to park on the street overnight. That's a hassle for me. Stuff parks on the street here all the time, so it had to be single wheel. I wanted the 1-ton aspect for the weight, and anything here that's over a 10,000-pound GVW, which this is like, I think it's 10 or 25 or something like that pounds under, it needs a yearly inspection. So this does not need yearly inspection. It's treated just like a half-ton. So we have almost all the same weight rating as a dually. A dually can haul more for sure. But this is about as, you know, sturdy of a truck as you're gonna get and be 100% legit. So this is an old hydro truck that went to auction. It's got 300,000 kilometers, which I don't know what that is in miles, 180,000, 200,000, I don't know, lots. But it's a 6-liter LS. It's got a 6L80. And, you know, the beefier end, 410 gears, posi rear. So it's got all things a man could want. Now, I've always wanted to have a tow truck, and this right here in the back is a Holmes 220. Now, everyone knows a Holmes 440 wrecker. Well, the 220 is essentially a 440, but it's electric winch instead of a PTO-driven, you know, kind of, I guess it was chain drive winch. So I have a 13,000-pound winch I put on there, which was on sale. This thing will haul good. Legally, I think I can have like another 3,000 pounds or something like that on the truck itself, which since I'm usually towing dead Tri-5 Chevys with no motors and transmissions that might weigh 2,000 pounds, I'm in the clear. You're only lifting half the car. So there might be 1,000 pounds on the back or something like that. So it hauls so nice. It hauls really easy. There's no issues there. Yeah, so I wanted a wrecker. Everyone kept saying, you know, get a trailer, get a trailer, get a trailer. I hear you, but at the end of the day, a trailer takes up an extra spot. It's like having an extra car around. Now, I also realize, and someone's already saying that, store a car on the trailer. Yeah, you can do that too. I didn't want to do that. I wanted a tow truck. I have used this thing already so much. It's like having a winch. It's like having a crane. It's so fantastic. I think I paid $400 for the boom setup. I had to put the winch on, then I had to build the little A-frame to lift, but it paid for itself in a heartbeat. Actually, it had an old winch on it, which I sold because it wasn't working. A guy bought it for parts for like 300 bucks. I'm into it for like $0. Now, this truck has been fantastic. I love every bit of it. She's a little worse for the wear. Unfortunately, this year truck, they just rot out the box sides. The dream would be a flat deck on it or something like that, or actual service body. But the problem with service bodies, they weigh a lot. And I don't want to sack this thing out with weight. If you have the service body and the crane on it, there's so much weight back here. Legally, you're going to have trouble having anything on the back if you ever want to tow anything. So, what we're going to do, you know what? We'll do a little walk around. I'll show you. So now, previously, I had a little box right here. And this thing worked out pretty good. We had all our junk in it. That was that old Princess Auto and the old Scratch and Dent. They had these L Giant ones. These were $100 a piece, so I got 2 of them, and a floor model toolbox. Now, we're gonna go ahead and put this all together and see where we end up with. Now, my only real concern of this whole mess is going to be this toolbox. Now, I know it's not gonna be weather tight, it's not gonna be perfect, it's all those things, and I hear you. But here's my main concern. This thing being in good shape, that has set sail the second it left the store. My problem is going to be when the crane goes down. Hopefully we're still going to be able to drive this thing out. It's just under 7 foot, and I have a 7-foot door. So we'll see what happens. But you know what? I'm going to get everything kind of set up where I want it. Maybe I'll bring you back and show you what my plan's going to be today. And honestly, I'm looking for advice too. I shoveled a bunch out, but there's still some stuff I couldn't get to and are kind of melting on the floor. Story of my life. So here is my redneck service truck idea. We'll see how this looks in front maybe. But yeah, we're gonna have these suckers. Now, and nothing's bolted down, but anyways, what? These are, you know, weather-ish tight. So we'll have one on each side. Now I'm fighting out if I want them front or back. I'm thinking in the front. It does kind of make it hard to get in this area, but this is wasted space anyways. What I was thinking is a end goal. We're gonna end up kind of working on this thing over a series of videos and not in order whatsoever. I would like onboard air on this thing as well, and probably a generator at some point, because then we could put a small welder in these tanks, or boxes I should say, sorry. And I mean, really, if you have all your hand tools, you have your electric tools, you have a small generator, and a small compressor, maybe a torch set, you're unstoppable as far as I'm concerned. So 2 of those, I don't know if I should put them further back or not, but I'm thinking as far forward as I can go is probably the way to do it. We'll end up bolting it to the box side, and then I just have some angle iron here. I'm gonna make a little kind of brace that could sit on across the back and a couple of pulls down, which will go right into the base of the wrecker. And then we'll have some room under it if we want to put some stuff, anything long. I mean, eventually I want to get us at dollies, which will have to go there. One on each side. One will be mostly straps and whatnot. One can then be hanging for whatever. We have our toolbox here, which again, with the boom up, it works great. You know, and again, you can raise the boom as high as you want when we're outside. You have your top stuff. All the shelves will work except for the bottom one. I gotta just trim out just a little bit of this. Unfortunately, when I made this thing, I tied it all down with a bunch of angle iron and all thread at the back, and there's miscellaneous bolts. It's locked down the frame. We could always move this. Now, my original plan was this, it actually has a tailgate that fits, and the bottom section, like the sling and all that, it rides on trailer hitch receivers that slide in. I do want to eliminate this bumper and put a big steel bumper on the thing, like just an I-beam. And what that'll do is twofold. It'll allow me to have the sling, instead of going in here, be lower, which will make it a lot easier. The approach angle would be much lower for towing. And then when I just pull the sling all the way up, it can go straight up and down. It's too long, and I don't have enough reach, so to store it upwards, I can't do it. It always hangs down, which I don't really like. So that's an upcoming video for sure, and probably in the summertime or spring. I want to change that and put a steel bumper on it, and we can carry on from there. Now, the bonus is we're going to have these receivers, so I can slide, and I have pins in them, so I can put a vise and slide it in there, or I mean anything you want. All you gotta do is weld it on to some 2.5, I guess, square tube, and fire it in there with a hole and pin it, and you got a vise that's rock solid. If you want to have like an anvil, or I mean anything like that, you're set and you're working off the back of the truck. So that's also the plan. I think that's kind of everything. Oh, I bought some of these El Cheapo Fender flares. I know they're not gonna be the best, but you know what? They'll hide it. It'll be what it's gonna be. We'll peel it back. We'll just hose that down with penetrating oil or motor oil or whatever to try and prevent some of the rust from carrying on. But at this point, I've tried to fix it a couple times just by kind of grinding it and putting a rust stop and then filler, but it keeps coming through. There's no way around it. It needs a patch panel welded in, so if it's got to be cut out anyways, let's ignore it for 2 or 3 years and go from there. because maybe by then we'll have an aluminum service body on it. So that's the plan in a nutshell. Now what I need from you guys, tools, for those of you guys who run a service truck, what should be in there? What are things that you're going to forget? Obviously hand tools and pliers and screwdrivers, those are all easy, but what are little tips and tricks of stuff that you've learned that I should put in this thing? I know you're watching, let me know. So let's get set up. We're going to start mounting these things down, and yeah, have ourselves like a bolted down service truck before you know it. Okay, well this is some rig, I tell you. I put the flares on this back one. People said in the comment section or review section of Amazon, she didn't really go that good, but a little glue or one more self tapper. Got the front one on. Got this thing all dialed together. Built a little bracket for this, so it's all cool now. I mean, it looks a little big. There's no bones about it, but it should be good. I can reach everything. Being a tall guy helps. But I don't know. I think it looks boxy, but the right kind, let's be honest. Service trucks are service trucks. My only thing is, I guess hopefully this isn't gonna like whistle and howl on the highway, but I guess we'll just see. And probably put a few more nuts and bolts in it while I'm at it. But that still gives us lots of room here so we can store stuff where we have to. That was kind of wasted space. Anyway, I put a bit of an angle out and we got a couple holes in it for some drainage because I think water's gonna get in there. As for the toolbox, I just gave my little notchy notch. I then welded the box right there, so I didn't get taken. Everything works, so we should be good there. Hopefully we can drive it out of the garage, because now that I've welded it, it'll be a bit of a trick, but worst case we can let some air out of the tires. I don't know. She looks goofy, but I think the right kind of goofy as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, I gotta keep going. So I'll maybe set the camera up. I'm gonna take a quick break, get something to eat, and I'll set the camera up while I weld on this back piece. Oh, I supported it as well. I just used the little piece of angle. And I might get in there, you can just see right there a little. I might put another one at the front. I did tie it into the headache rack, so she's pretty sturdy. I'm not too worried about it. And again, we're not gonna load it up with a bazillion pounds in that thing. Straps, I mean, it adds up. I'm sure it'll be 40 or 50 pounds, but it'll be fine for what we're doing. And man, this thing is coming around in a frickin' hurry. Okay, so the box is on, it's just kind of loose, so only it's got 2 bolts holding it in, but that's fine. Now, what I've done, I put this piece of angle up against the headache rack and kind of ran it along the side of the box, give myself a mark as to where I'm going to cut it. So I'm going to zip that, and then what I'm going to do is drill 2 holes kind of randomly in it. Just for a place to drill. I'll drill it bottom up into the aluminum. Just easier to try to, drilling up on your back, trying to go up, there's no room is a hassle, so I'll pre-drill those holes. Then I'll just put a pilot hole through, then I can sink it down from the top real easy. And then whatever's left, I'll turn into a leg, and that'll hold it. So it'll be welded to the rack and at the back. And then we could also put, maybe one more support and setter down the road. And we've got the whole bedside. I think that should be fine for what we're hauling in here. Nothing too heavy. So I'll get that cut and screwed in there, welded, all those things. We'll just lapse it all together. Then we got to put some Fender flares on. I think we're done for a night. Then tomorrow we get to look for tools. That's fun stuff. I think I might just go to Murs, steal a bunch of his old junk. He doesn't know that yet, but he'll find out when the video comes out. All right, easy peasy. Little bar in there. Man, I forgot to turn the welding gas on when I did this one, so we'll look at it from here, but she's sturdy, not going nowhere. I'm happy with it. Now we're gonna put on the wheel arch moldings. I'm just gonna zip off the mud flaps real quick. And it came with a bunch of like push clips. I'm self-tappering it because self-tappers are the way to go. And then I think I wanna build, even though this has a lock on it, I'm thinking if I put like a piece of all thread and pin top bottom or something like that, and just build a tab there and there. I'll just put, there won't be a lock, but we'll lock the whatever. But if for some reason I forget to close this, which let's be honest, that's gonna happen, put a pin in there, and then the drawers can't open and this can't pop up. Because I feel like all my tools falling out the back would be less than ideal. So let's slam on these moldings real quick. I think that's where I'm gonna leave it for a night. And then tomorrow I'm gonna get up, well after work, and go tool shopping at Mer's maybe, and see what we got for inside here. That's the problem, is I wish this video would come out right now, because I don't know what I should put in here. If I should leave it just open for stuff. I mean, obviously one side will just be for straps and stuff, but I mean, it'd be kind of cool to screw stuff in and have stuff hanging, you know, screwdrivers and stuff like that. I don't know if I should have it all in the toolbox or not, and if there's any sort of toolbox organizer so it doesn't completely shake all to hell. But I mean, really, let's be honest, I'm overthinking it. My toolbox is like literally a box where I dump my tools. So why should this be any different? And yeah, go from there. The only disadvantage to these, so I don't know if I said it or not, these are 30 pounds. The steel counterpart were actually more money because these were scratch and dent. And they were 100 pounds. So, I mean, these things, even if I put stuff in them, I don't think full they're going to weigh what those steel ones are going to weigh. The disadvantage is, well, aluminum is a lot more, well, I mean, it's possible. I can figure it out, but it'll have to be drilled and bolted and all that. So if I have any magnets and stuff like that hanging from it, or, you know, places for cans and all that, we'll do that. So, yeah, nut and bolt. Let's get these wheel moldings on and call her a night. Well, she is a new day. The truck has not built itself yet. I don't know about y'all, but for me, when tools are on sale, I have a habit of just buying them and kind of stocking them and tossing them around. So I had a bunch of stuff I put in this box. I did go out and I mean, this is the old toolbox I put together when I went to Power Tours, took junk out of there. Booster cables are on sale, Princess Auto, so I bought some of that. So I went through, had some stuff, bought a few things, and I figured I'd show you where we're at. We got to build a vise. Then it's a little bit of cleaning up and see if this thing will fit out of here without taking all the air of the rear tires. This is the piece I built last night. I don't know if I showed it or not. Piece of all thread rod with a nut, a little on top, and I just flattened it, and I got a pin will go through it, so it's not really a lock. I guess I could put a lock through there if I wanted to, but just so the drawers can't pop open. So we got that. So I had a miscellaneous, you know, kind of socket sets. I put that together, you know, screwed those down. A bunch of wrenches. This is just, again, this is all stuff I had. I welded a little plate in there to divide standard and metric. I bought these screwdrivers. They're on sale, and I like these ones anyways, so we'll see. Again, I welded a little spacer there. We put our ratchets there. That's, oh yeah, and then this, I had this kit, man. These come on sale for like $19 from 100. Toss them in there, and a hammer I had. So we still got lots of stuff to fill in there. You know what? Stuff like tire plugs and all. I mean, who knows? Now, what I kind of want to do is divvy up these two boxes. So this would be like the service side, and the other side would be the towing stuff side. So here I put in a set of booster cables. I had this kicking around. Again, I bought it when it was on sale at some point. You know, hang some paper towel in there. You got some storage up there. We can put some cans in the back. And then this will just be miscellaneous. I don't know what else I can put in here. Maybe I can put some sort of, I don't know, something to organize things. We'll see, but that's that. Oh, this is what we're gonna do for the the vise. So I bought an El Cheapo vise. It was $29 on sale. Man, everything's just been on sale lately. This is a receiver hitch extender, which was $9.99. Like, you couldn't build it for that. So what we're gonna do, obviously that's gonna slide in there. We're gonna weld a plate on top, drill a couple of holes, and put the vise on. The vise I got's nothing special. It's a little 5-inch vise or something like that, just a fixed one. But it opens up, has a decent sized jaw. You can put something in there, and you know what, we can always change it. This is the plate. I'm just gonna cut a little square of it. We'll do that next. Over here, this is where I just tossed all my towing stuff. So all the J-hooks, actually that's some of the hardware to attach the A-frame section, miscellaneous chains, ratchet straps, and I hate this floor jack, so I think I'm going to put it in here. It only lifts like 13 or 14 inches. It's not really enough to do anything, but you know what? If you have nothing, it'll be fine. I'll probably toss a couple of 4x4s in there just to add to the lift. And I think we're getting near the end. Obviously, we'll add more things. Honestly, I'm excited to hear your guys' thoughts of what I should put in this thing, because there's all sorts of stuff I'll forget and need. Power tools is tricky. I don't really want to have a whole lot of electrical stuff in here. I did order, actually, because I wanted air on this thing, I ordered a onboard air setup from Amazon. Unfortunately, it's like 3 weeks away because nothing that was a decent deal was prime. So it'll be just a little 12-volt motor, and I think it was a 2 or 3 gallon tank. And we'll go from there. I'm fighting out a generator and some sort of welder. I got some ideas around there. We might do something down the road, but that'll be on a future video as we put the air in. I think we'll figure out something for a welder. And at that point, I'll get to update all the stuff that you guys told me I needed. Now, let's get cutting out this vise. Bolt it all on. See if this pig will roll out. We'll have to do a little bit of touch-up paint as well. There we go, very, very simple. Definitely on the smaller side of a vise, but you know what? We're not a real service truck. We're just playing one on TV. So it, does its thing. 5-inch, I guess, yeah. So we can slide that out, do whatever you have to. That's well done. And you know what? If we get a better vise on sale, it's 2 bolts and a bigger plate or whatever we got to do, and we're dialed. Actually, they had a really nice 8-inch vise, but it was like $200. So we'll wait till that one comes on sale, and I think I'll buy a pair of them because I want a bigger vise, or maybe I'll put one in here and take that vise, put it on the back of the truck. But it's kind of a catch-22 because this one's still small enough. We could take that off, put it in one of the cabinets, and strap it down. I bought a bunch of eyelets and kind of tie-downs and stuff, so I'll figure out, I'll toss them in the truck or in the toolbox. And as I find things I need, just burp, 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 a couple of 3/8 bolts, and you have a tie-down anywhere you want. So, yeah. Don't be afraid to weld on brand new stuff. Just get the brand new toolbox, whatever it is. Weld it, do what you gotta do, and make it work for you, right? Yeah, this should be pretty slick. So I'm gonna take a quick break. I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna put a little bit of paint on a few spots here. And I think this thing's ready to go outside, and we'll take a look at it where we can actually get back from it, call it a day. But El Cheapo service truck, we'll do a price breakdown when I put it all together. So give everything a quick coat of paint. However, living in the frozen north, we've run out of daylight. So just gave her kind of a once over, cleaned it all up. Got all taken care of. We got these things all locked. I mean, nothing's perfect. I realize it's not going to be super secure, but you got to work at it at least to steal my, a few dollars in tools. So tomorrow I might run down to the old buggy bath, pressure wash all the junk out. There's leaves and crap in here I haven't taken care of. And then we'll do a little walk around. Hopefully this thing will fit out. We gotta put the plow on, and we'll go over how much everything cost and get your opinion. So that's it for me tonight. See you in the morning. Well, it's the next day. Yeah, the truck didn't leave the garage easily. I did it this morning before I went to work. Got a little frustrated, a little rammy. The real issue is the rear tires hit the snow. We launched up into the the door. And I tried having all the boom and all that down, and I thought it was on the cables, but well, it might not have been. But don't worry, if you look at the piano hinge, it's like still pretty straight. So we'll just pound it with a hammer. It still goes up and down. It's no big deal. These things happen in the DD Speed Shop. Now, give this thing a once over. We're gonna go try and pick up that 57 Chevy at some point. So now I got to get all the towing gear, which is frozen to the ground back there. But let's go over this thing one last time. So we had these boxes. They were $100 a piece. I believe this was $200. Miscellaneous hardware and all sorts of stuff. So for $500, we kind of have ourselves a budget service truck. And not to mention, it's got the boom, the crane, and all sorts of stuff. I'm excited about the vise and whatnot. We can just toss that back in there if we don't use it, or put it in the one of the storage bins. Again, what do you guys have for ideas for tools? What I need, I actually have a few pack out kits, small ones. So I mean, nuts, bolts, hose clamps, bits of wire and all that. Now the thing is with this, it's not going to be your typical service rig that's showing up to work on a piece of equipment or something like that. It's going to be old hot rods and junk like that. So I guess bear that in mind. There's going to be some stuff which people would have, pullers and all that, which is kind of irrelevant to what I'm going to be doing. Mostly this is going to be used to be working beside the car in my driveway or on the street, or I'm going to go get some junk. Anyways, get out there, build something, enjoy it, and let me know what you think. Subscribe below. I really do appreciate it. Leave a comment. I'll see you in the next video, where we're going to probably try to drag home 57 Chevy that we forgot about in a pile of snow. I love my life.